Hello everybody who's out there in our mindfulness community. For me at the moment in this whole crazy virus situation, I managed to get stuck here in Australia at my mum and dad's place, and I wasn't so excited about that because I was really missing the project and the people there. But honestly now sitting and reflecting, who knows how long the situation is going to take before we're back again. Nobody seems to really have any set answers for that, and that kind of feeling can be a little bit unsettling, not having this control over our life, or being able to make no plans, or knowing what the near future is going to be can be a little bit of a crazy feeling. And so I've kind of been deliberating with myself about, well, what's the best way I can make use of this whole situation. Because yes, on one hand, it's pretty, insane that the whole world is locked up because of this virus. On the other hand, it's pretty unique opportunity, It's kind of like we've just been given this almost free time. We don't have to work, we don't have to study, everything is shut down. How are we going to use it? We always talk about not having enough time to be creative, to learn music, to read books, to connect with our family and friends. Or to learn something new. So for me, I was just like, well, let's use this to make some kind of change. Let's use this time as an investment in ourselves and do something cool. So we're going to grow our own little vegetables, herbs, as much as we can, and just produce for ourselves. No matter what happens in the end, you can't go wrong with growing your own food. And I think once they start to see how it works and they taste the food from it, I think they're going to keep it going even when I get back to Thailand eventually. So I thought, why not give you guys a few tips. Maybe this is something you want to do yourself. And in permaculture, we say, let's take our problems. How can we take our problems and actually turn them into our solutions? So how can we use this time that we've been uniquely given and actually do something really cool for ourselves? Keep ourselves healthy, physical, keep our hands in the dirt, and do something special. But I promise you, it'll be a fun little project that will keep you sane in these next weeks, alongside of doing some practice, doing some yoga, doing some meditation. And I think I'm hoping that on the Patreon we're going to keep sending you things that can keep you going, keep your resilience up, and keep us sane and happy during this time, and making the most of it. Okay, so keep watching with us and let's see what comes. The first thing I did when I heard what was going to go on is we went down to the shopping centre, and lo and behold, most of the seeds have already been completely sold out of the store. So what do we do in this situation? There's nowhere selling seedlings, everyone's hoarding these things, but that doesn't mean we are stuck. It doesn't mean there's nothing we can do. There's handy little tips we can show you, just by the food that you're buying, the spices in your kitchen, that you can still grow a little bit to support yourself, okay? So don't worry, we'll take you through and show you these kind of things. We're going to go into our kitchen and we're going to take the stuff from there. So think about, your pumpkin. When you cut open a pumpkin, there's tons of seeds in there. You can use them and they'll propagate really easy in a pot or anything like that. So let me show you how this has worked for us. And this is a homemade example right here. Check this out. I didn't even plant this pumpkin. It grew on its own. The seeds from the compost came on its own. So easy. And here, spring onion. So we cut them from the kitchen. We use this in the kitchen and we put the roots back into the soil and it's growing back on its own. There's so many things you can do that with. Most of your herbs and that, once you've used the top part, the green part, you take the root, put it in a bit of water, watch it sprout, and then put that back in the ground. It's going to grow. Carrot tops, you can do the same. We can do the same thing with tomatoes. So you take your tomato, you cut it in half, scoop out the little seeds with the pulp. You can wash that off a little bit. Put it in the sieve, wash it through, collect the seeds, and you can either dry them or you can plant them straight away and they should pop pretty quick. What else can we use? Beans, you have black beans or red beans. kidney beans, that kind of thing. You get the dry ones, you just soak them overnight, you plant them in the ground, they're gonna grow. You know, there's so many things like that. Corn is the same. Take the corn, dry the corn, stick it in the ground, you get the corn to grow. And I know this because half the time when I throw my scraps into my compost, everything just starts growing on its own. So we don't need to have the store-bought stuff. You can do this from yourself, from everything from the kitchen. This here is my makeshift little nursery. So normally back at the project I have tons of seed trays and all sorts of little bags and stuff like that to grow our small little seedlings for the garden beds. But here I had to be creative, so I just grabbed a couple of mum's old pots, filled them up with soil, and I've planted seeds in most of these. We can't see anything yet because they still haven't popped out. That will take a little bit of time. But basically this is my little nursery yard. I put tons of broccoli and kale and whatever, parsley, coriander, beetroot. All the seeds are growing in these little guys, and when they grow up then we can transplant them out into a bigger garden bed. Okay, and here's where I'm using just a bit of mum and dad's fence. You can see I put some bricks here that I found behind our shed. I just make a makeshift little garden wall, and I'm starting to fill it up with some like backyard leaves and sticks and twigs and all that kind of thing. And this is the end product of this little garden bed. And basically we've now filled this with some nice soil in there. It's just soil that I got from the backyard. It's nothing bought, nothing prepared. I put some horse poo that we got really cheap. We put some leaves as a mulch that we got from the backyard, again, nothing paid for. And I've just got some little Brazilian spinach in there right now that I picked off and stuck in the ground. This is just waiting for some cucumber seedlings that are gonna grow up the side of this little trellis that we made. So yeah, all done in one day, really cheaply, really easy, and anyone can do it. And we don't have to do this kind of thing. This is just an example for you, but you can go so simple. Just if you want, get yourself a pot, put some soil in it, put some herbs in there. So easy, just try it. This is what this time is for. We're going to become resilient, we are going to be independent, and we are going to be happy and healthy. Okay, again, so it really can be that easy. We get the seeds from the kitchen, we grab some soil from the backyard. You can put it into pots, you can put it into anything you can find. If you have like an old box sitting around, cardboard box, anything that some kind of container that you can find to grow something in, just give it a try. It's very simple. Well, we want to work with you guys to give you some things that we can do during this time of crisis or unique opportunity, whichever way we want to see it. If you have any preferences of something you would like to know, something you would like to try, there's me and Jade now, so we've got and Christian and Anya and everyone else that's got the permaculture knowledge, so write to us and we can maybe make some videos to give you some basic tips or basic ideas about how you can just fill your time and get out into the backyard and keep busy. I mean, this is this kind of thing is the best way to learn. You don't need to be a permaculture expert, you don't need to be a gardening expert, you just got to start somewhere and you will learn by doing it. This is a situation we've never seen before. The world is not prepared for this, so we don't know how it's going to play out. So while we can, let's take this situation into our own hands. Let's learn how to be independent. Let's get healthy, growing our own food and eating our own food, and know that we have this security of providing for ourselves. Yeah? So let's do this together. It's going to be awesome.